Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Hi, my name is Brady, and today we're going to be talking about ineffective listening and how failing to listen can sometimes result into interpersonal conflict between two people when communicating. When we interact and conversate, listening is a key component to effectively communicate. However, when we don't listen or fail to listen, we develop these poor listening habits such as gap filling, selective, and defensive listening. This type of listening or style of listening can sometimes cause conflict between two people, which may affect their conflictive communication behaviors. First, let's talk about effectively listening. When we effectively listen, we go through 4 stages of the listening process, also known as the 4 R's. And these 4 R's are receiving, responding, recalling, and rating. These all deal with acknowledging or understanding a message and also providing observational feedback. However, when we ineffectively listen or not listen, we tend to disregard those 4 stages of the listening process. And over a period of time, those poor listening habits begin to form. So let's look at some definitions of these poor listening habits. When we selectively listen, we tend to respond to some parts of a message and reject the other. When we defensively listen, we tend to view innocent comments as personal attacks or hostile criticism. And when people gap fill, it's normally listeners who think that they can correctly guess the rest of the story a speaker is telling them, and they may not need the speaker to continue. They're simply not listening. For example, here's a clip taken from Family Guy, which perfectly demonstrates how a person may gap fill instead of listening.
Abby, Elaine, and Janet have their little lunch clique, and of course, I'm not invited.
Seems like you're doing everything and they're doing nothing.
Well, I don't know, but what I do know is that in the staff meeting, Christina said my inventory system wasn't feasible.
She's
But
obviously
when the
threatened by
associate
you.
sales manager came back in
It's
the room,
ridiculous,
she
and I
told him the
support you
idea
fully.
as if it was hers.
You can't let
and
him
then
get to you.
Teresa acts like she's
They're
friends
jealous
with
of
me,
what
but
you
there's a
have.
coldness there
It's
that I
nothing
don't
to do with
trust.
you and everything
I
to do
have
with
never
them.
seen her eat anything.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
So in that video clip, Peter is constantly interrupting Lois by guessing the story and completely altering the message in the conversation. And this can sometimes cause interpersonal conflict. So when people continuously ineffectively listen, these long-term behaviors over a period of time can sometimes form several negative, conflictive communication patterns such as symmetrical escalation, symmetrical withdrawal, and pursuit withdrawal. Now we're just going to take a look at some definitions of symmetrical and pursuit withdrawal. During symmetrical withdrawal, neither party or partner are willing to confront the other about the conflict. They're unwilling to listen or even involve themselves in a conversation. While pursuit withdrawal, one party or person may press for a discussion while the other party may withdraw and not want to listen. So here we're going to look at symmetrical escalation, or the fight-fight pattern. This pattern develops when parties involved choose to increase the intensity of their conflict by deciding to match each other's yelling or fighting behaviors. Neither party is willing to listen. They're more so doing defensive listening or selective listening.
So what? So I have some paintings.
Is this how you want me to look?
Oh, come on, Karen. Do you hate your body so much you have to reduce every painting of the female form to pornography?
Oh, don't do that, Karen. Don't you
what?
do that. Don't
Not
make
doing
this my
anything.
fault.
It is your fault.
You're
I just
the one
want to
who
come home and
hasn't
have
paid
dinner.
attention to me
Hey,
in
have my
2
wife
months.
say, hello, how's
For
your day?
God's
Take
sakes,
an
it's
interest.
like I'm
Oh,
living
no,
with
that's
my brother.
impossible.
So in the video clip, both partners, the caveman and cavewoman, completely abandon the 4 stages of the listening process. They begin to ineffectively listen by refusing to acknowledge or understand each other's messages. So in conclusion, when a person ineffectively listens or fails to listen, it can create some conflict between their family members or their spouses, which can turn into a problem. However, I think it's important to think back on the 4 stages of listening and just try to understand and acknowledge a message that someone may try to give you. It's also important to know about poor listening habits, so sometimes you can try to correct yourself and not escalate a conflict.